The National Union of Metalworkers of South Africa has expelled its former second Deputy President Ruth Ntlokotse from the organisation. Numsa National Executive Committee expelled Ntlokotse following a recommendation by the chairperson of a disciplinary hearing. Ntlokotse, who is the current president of SAFTU, to which Numsa is affiliated, says she could not attend her disciplinary hearing because of her involvement in a workers' Section 189A facilitation process. Numsa accused Ntlokotse of delay tactics and continued with the hearing that led to her dismissal in her absence. Well, we've got Ruth Ntlokotse with us in studio. Thank you for coming. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Let me ask you, straight up front, so you have now been expelled as a member of Numsa. Does this take away the presidency of SAFTU as well from you? Okay,
let me first start by saying this. Indeed, for you to be a president of the federation, you must be a member of a union. But in this particular instance, I'm going to appeal because from what is being stated on that letter of expulsion, there's a room for me to appeal, so I'm going to do that. But just to give a bit of an indication as to why I was expelled. The company where I'm employed, we are going through a Section 189 retrenchment process that affects about 307 workers. And the company contemplates to close. And we attended the first consultation on the 17th of April, and then there was a follow-up date on the 24th of April. And then immediately after that, when I realized that it's going to coincide with the day of my disciplinary hearing, I wrote an email to the General Secretary of Numsa, Ivan Jim, indicating that I wouldn't be able to attend my disciplinary hearing on the basis that I will be attending workers from the plant on that mass possibility of the mass retrenchment. And there was no response pertaining that, and I went and attended that Section 189A process. And then I only learned on the 4th when I was told by some of my colleagues that in the National Executive Committee, it was indicated that the disciplinary hearing took place. And it was indicated that I didn't attend, of which it's true that I didn't attend. And I didn't attend on the basis that, as a shop steward, before you become a leader, a president or a chairperson you've got an obligation of representing your members on the plant. And when you're continuously talking about the social distance that is there between the union, its leadership and its members, this is exactly what I was confronted with. I owe my existence to the members who elected me on the plant. And there was no way. My conviction wouldn't have allowed me that workers are faced with a mass retrenchment and I wouldn't be there to attend the disciplinary hearing.
But you had let them know, as you said.
I did.
You told them, they never replied to you.
They never replied.
And coincidentally, this is what I was reading in weekend newspapers, that coincidentally, those negotiations and the disciplinary were happening
at Beirut
at the same place. And you saw it taking place without you.
Without me. And the sad part, Leanne, is that the first notice for this disciplinary hearing, it was supposed to take place end of March. And there was a letter that Jim wrote to me indicating that there will be a postponement on the basis that their attorney was not feeling well, and because of that, they're going to postpone it for end of April. And that end of April, when I came in and submitted an apology that I will be representing Numsa members on Section 189, they are claiming that it's delay tactics. So the question that I'm asking myself, because of it is indicated that even any other shop steward would have attended that disciplinary hearing. So the question that I'm asking, that is Section 189, the question that I'm asking myself is, I'm a well-seasoned and experienced shop steward. I've been through such consultation process. So he's saying that any other shop steward, and this shop steward, I knew they've never even attended any Section 189. So the question that I'm asking myself, it is at whose interest is Ivan Jim acting upon? Because of one, it is common cause that the union represents the interest of its members. So if he's saying that, I mean, any other shop steward would have attended, whereas the seasoned and the most experienced shop steward will be seated in a disciplinary hearing, that could have been even postponed to the second day because of it was scheduled between the 24th and the 26th. Why wouldn't they say, come on the 25th so that we proceed with the disciplinary hearing? But they chose to proceed and expel me in my absence.
Obviously, this is not, I mean, this didn't all develop very soon. This is long-standing tensions that have been going on in the organisation. This, when it went into SAFTU's Congress, in fact, we actually spoke on the eve of the Congress, and you had tried to get this not to happen, to actually not to be declared invalid. And this went all the way back to then, when a lot of issues were raised by Numsa. Perhaps you want to take us back to that, where this all began in July last year.
Okay, let me first start by saying this. My expulsion has got nothing to do with the charges that were leveled against me. It is precisely the historical background that you're providing. That's the basis as to why I'm being expelled from the union. Indeed, I was suspended last year, 12th of July, by the allegations that I'm defining myself out of a collective. And I went to court, and fortunately, myself and other 53 members that were suspended, the judge lifted those suspensions, and they went to an extent of even interdicting that Congress. That Congress proceeded under the auspices of an interdict. And now in March, I went to court challenging that Congress. The order that I'm seeking from that court, it's the nullification of the Congress. So the main reason as to why I'm being suspended is for them to go and argue in court once the date is being set about my status, that the person who is an applicant to that case, he's no longer a Numsa member. And there are quite a number of issues that are taking place as to why I'm being expelled. I mean, the central one is about accountability, financial mismanagement. You know, accountability when it comes to the second allegation that is being leveled, the second charge that is being leveled against me. You know that Jim went and deposed the affidavit in support of the 360. And I was purely against that. I was purely against that on the basis that I would argue that there's a corporate veil between ourselves and the Numsa Investment Company. Even if we were to go and depose the affidavit in support, but the reasons why the 360 was put under a provisional curatorship, it is as a basis that they didn't pay workers when they were confronted with the funeral. And they went to an extent of even complaining at the Prudential Authority. The Prudential Authority was acting on behalf of our members. Yeah. So the question that I'm asking myself is, that I was putting to them, was that why would they defend E360 that is acting against the best interest of our members? And I wrote a letter distancing myself from that affidavit. Because of that affidavit, it was having so many issues that were disingenuous. And that's the reason why I'm charged. And when it comes to the issues of financial mismanagement, I mean, you know that the very same court, there was an investigation that was a forensic investigation that was conducted by Deloitte. And the issue of the birthday.
I mean, we're looking at all of this, and this is what I'm looking at right now. Yes. Is this whole probe, the probe finding transactions, including the fact that General Secretary Irvin Jim's 40,000 Rand birthday party was paid for by Numsa, including a laptop for Jim's daughter, and 114,425 Rand for a gala dinner. I mean, these allegations, and also 360 allegedly paying for Irvin Jim's donation as well to the political party for the 2021 local government elections. Talk to me about this. I mean, this is at the centre as well of all of this. And this is your complaints.
There's a big amount of money, about 95 million, that Numsa borrowed Numsa Investment Company, 2012. And as we speak, they haven't paid back that money. This is accountability, that myself and other 53 members who were suspended, we were asking for that accountability. As we speak, they haven't paid. And guess what? They paid themselves, the directors of the Numsa Investment Company, the dividends, equivalent to that 95,000, whereas the money that is being owed to the workers is not being paid. Going back to the Deloitte report, yes, indeed, it's talking about that. But still on the Deloitte report, there's an area that is talking about that 20.1 million, which is an ad hoc payment that is for Numsa members, the leadership. So the question that we are asking ourselves is, what was that sponsorship for? We need to get that breakdown of the 20.1 that was utilized in 2018.
Do the members have a say in all of this?
Okay, let me tell you. When it comes to worker control in the union, it's not there. Numsa is no longer a democratic union. I will make an example about my expulsion. My expulsion was never subjected to the structures. Jim went to the National Executive Committee and the report was presented to the National Executive Committee without them being mandated. And they took a decision of expelling me, including the suspensions of all those 53 members. They were never subjected to any structures. So, going back to the question that you are asking me about whether members are they aware of this thing or that is currently taking place, I can tell you that members are aware, but they're not aware being afforded an opportunity of shaping the direction of how their union should take, because they are not involved in such decision making. So for us to proclaim that Numsa is a worker controlled democratic organization, I would argue that it's not.
Very quickly, because I've literally got a minute left with you. Numsa, of course, is still a SAFTU affiliate.
Yes.
Where's the relationship there?
You know, there's an agenda to collapse SAFTU, and that we are seeing from Numsa. Numsa, they are not participating in SAFTU's campaign. I can make an example of the 24th of August, when the National Executive Committee took a decision that we need to go out for the national champion. Numsa never participated. Moving forward, the 20th of March, when we joined the EFF march, they never participated. The recent May Day, they never participated. So there's an agenda to collapse SAFTU. So my expulsion, the letter that was written to the General Secretary of SAFTU, it is an attempt to collapse SAFTU. Yes, they are an affiliate of SAFTU. Even when it comes to affiliation fee, they pay affiliation fee. They are saying that is vulaval. They only pay affiliation fee when we convene the National Executive Committee, because they know that their status is going to be challenged. And then after that, they're not paying, they're not even participating in campaigns.
Your next step? Very quickly, I
am going to appeal.
Okay.
I'm having the closing date because I received the letter of expulsion Thursday, so I was given 7 days to appeal.
7 days to appeal.
I'm going to follow the processes and appeal internally.
We leave it there. Ruth, thank you.
Thanks
for coming in, giving us your side of the story. Ruth Ntlokotse. An invite was extended to Numsa's Deputy Secretary. Of course, we didn't hear from them. The Secretary General, Mbuso Ngubane, who unfortunately declined the interview.